Hey guys, welcome to Friday stream. Thank you so much for being here. Kay, welcome. Welcome. It's been a minute. I haven't seen you on the channel in a while. I'm sure you're creating and doing your whole thing. We had Clovis who was here yesterday laughing about the picture that I put up. So I am not surprised at all. Lorraine, welcome. Abba, I wish this conversation was on Clubhouse. You know, that's a pretty interesting idea. I've been thinking of doing some things on. Let me lower this volume. I can hear it, and it's already giving me a headache just from listening to it. So I think that should be better now. Okay, no, this is Let me put the screen larger so you can see. This is Music Bed. It's what I use for my music. I think they're a huge competitor to Epidemic Sound. Probably the songs that are on Music Bed might be on Epidemic Sound. I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's Epidemic Sound. That's what I've been using for a bit now. Camera Traveler, welcome. Thank you so much. Greetings to you from Pueblo. Still remember my last trip to Yaoundé with my friends, Leslie Mea, Mac, Zekashu, and Howard. Yeah, it was pretty chill trip. Never lived in Yaoundé for too long, actually. How's the weather? How are things going? I spent my whole life in Boya, between Boya and Bafoussam, where I was raised. So, don't know much about Yaoundé. Used to visit, had an aunt and uncle there. But yeah, that was some chill times. Today's stream is going to be very interesting because I feel like all my streams have been very, very happy and positive, and this one is going to be a little bit serious. Hopefully not negative. But I'm not in a very good mood today. I am not in a good mood today. Like, the thing about creating content and making schedules and doing things that you say you're going to do, sometimes you just have to do the things that you said you're going to do, whether you feel like doing it or not. And this is one of those instances where the previous version of me would just be like, you know what, I'm not doing this stream. I'm just going to stay here, figure out what's going on with me, and then when I'm done, you people will come. I mean, in a way, that is the necessary way to handle, I don't want to call it stress, to handle life. Sometimes you have to take a step back, take care of yourself before you start creating content or whatever it is that I'm doing. Sometimes you have to push through it. I think you know when you need to do what. Like, you know when it's time to leave, you know when it's time to stay. We just sometimes don't listen to ourselves. So anyway, where are you guys watching from? I know Kamen Traveler just said from Yaoundé. Abba, what's your clubhouse name? I haven't done much on Clubhouse yet. I was talking with a friend Joe, with whom I have a club. What's a club? A room. No, wait, a club. Yes. And we're talking about doing some rooms inside there. So I've been discussing with my friend Mark to bring a room that adds value, because my thing about Clubhouse, what I've noticed is that almost every room I get into, there's a lot of value, and I don't just want to open up a room because I can open up a room. I need to have a purpose, So yeah. Need to get my new pair of glasses today after this stream. These ones are getting old, and I'm seeing less and less better with them, which is not good. So today we're going to talk about friendships. And let me know if the music in the background is loud or if it's just okay enough. Yeah. What am I looking for? Do you ever look for a particular emoji in your phone and you cannot find it, even though you use it like all the time? I think I use about 5 emojis all the time. Like the same emojis all the time. Just cool. I love this song. I think I used it in one of my videos. Not sure yet. Today we're probably going to talk about two of my favorite books in the world. Actually, one of my favorite books in the world. If you've probably seen the review of this book. This is a new copy that I got for a friend as a gift. Love this book. I think it's time for me to read it again. Everybody in the world is seeking happiness, and there is one sure way to find it. That is by controlling your thoughts. Happiness doesn't depend on outward conditions, it depends on inner conditions. Pretty chill. Hey, Katie. You're on Facebook. Actually, I'm moving everything to YouTube. I just chose to do it this month very slowly because I don't want it to be abrupt. Yeah, I'm moving. I mean, for example, if I wasn't on Facebook now, you wouldn't know that I was. So yeah, I'm moving this stream to YouTube permanently. So for the month of March, what I decided was I would still stream here. I will still stream on Facebook and Twitter, but from next month, it's going to be YouTube only. So that's why we're still here, trying to get the fam, everybody aware of what's going on. Yeah, that's why. What's up? How are you? Passionate millennial event. Ooh, okay, cool. This is interesting. I like this title. Passionate millennial evangelical. So ex-evangelical, but you know what? Yeah. What do you think of that video on the TED Talk with the religion? Religion being the number one cause of poverty in Africa. I didn't see your comment after that. Did the video annoy you, or you just like, hey? The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Show respect for other people's opinions. Never say you're wrong. If you're wrong, admit it quickly and empathetically. Begin in a friendly way. Get the other person saying yes, yes, immediately. It was amazing. I had to go do live, so I need to finish it later. I hear you. I mean, I do it all the time. What I've tried to do recently is just to try to have as less tabs as open on my YouTube, on my Chrome tab, because sometimes I just have too many tabs, and I don't like having so many tabs because I can feel my brain stretching itself trying to keep up with everything. So when you have twins, 4-year-olds and stuff, life is full. Yeah, I can't even begin to imagine what that feels like. I'm not a parent, so yeah. Kudos to you for handling it. Like taking care of a human being who cannot walk and talk and needs to poop and everything on themselves until when they're able to do it by themselves. And yeah, it's a lot of work. So I'm glad they have you as the mom and Martin as your dad. It's pretty cool. So this stream is going to be 1 hour only, probably even less than 1 hour because I am not in a good mood at all. I can feel it. I know it. It's right there. And it's one of those things that I cannot escape until I deal with it. So I have to face it and be like, all right, Kanga, what's up? And that only happens when I start journaling and writing and thinking and reflecting. That's my own way of dealing with life. I think through things, you know? It's some recent events that I cannot talk about on the stream because I'm choosing not to talk about on the stream, and also because I don't like you, Katie. I don't think I like pity. You know, I don't like people feeling, oh my god, that's so sad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I mean, I get it. Human beings like to, express empathy and emotions. Yeah. Empathy and stuff like that. But for me, it's like, yeah, it's just stuff, man. It's just stuff that's making me just Reconsider my perspective. I think we are born, we pick up traits, we learn, we grow up, and then we assume that we have arrived. And then something happens that makes you realize that you have not arrived. All right, that you still have a lot to learn. And you have a lot to learn for the rest of your life. I'm in a position where I feel like I have a lot to learn forever. And right now there's a big lesson just looming and waiting for me to finally understand it about myself, about life, about people. And yeah, it's an annoying lesson, but it's a lesson anyway. It's like one of those courses in school that you like. I don't know if you love math, for example, you might have a specific topic. I don't know, trigonometry, calculus, whatever. It's like this particular topic annoys me, but you have to learn it because if you don't learn it, well, you could fail. Katie says, I think empathy is a powerful thing, and I'm really happy by when people take the time to understand how I'm feeling. It doesn't make me feel pitied. It makes me feel heard and cared about. Yeah. Yeah, I think, the term is to each his own. I think the older I get, the more I understand the kind of person that I am and the more comfortable I get. It doesn't mean that sometimes things happen that make me uncomfortable about my personality, my perspective on life. So I hear you. Empathy is great. The thing is, there are people who just don't know how to do it. The people who do it in a way that works for them. I am the kind of person who doesn't want the form of empathy that is almost borderline somebody feeling bad for me. Maybe I just didn't have it as a kid. I don't know. Maybe I'm broken. But I personally just prefer to be understood, not even recognized. More like, even if somebody doesn't get what I'm saying, I want to be understood. And that's a problem because that want to be understood means that sometimes I would not be able to explain things in a way that someone will be able to understand me. So it's one of those win-loss situations, like 50-50 chance that somebody's going to get it, and most people just don't. But I'm lucky that I found people who do. I think as we get older, coming to the topic of the whole live stream, as we get older, we'll find the people that we can trust. We'll find the people that we can be with, the people that we can share those stories with. And one thing I'm realizing very, very recently is that you need to build your personal attributes for recognizing the people that you can trust in your life. And that's not something that I think we are taught as kids. I guess parents tell you things like, don't hang out with these people, they're going to be bad influence. Don't spend time with this person, you're going to be, etc., etc. So we pick up some of these things, but I wonder if there's a better way to build relationships with people that can impact our lives in a positive way. And there can be both ways, right? Not just one way impact of like friendship, like he's my friend, but you're not their friend. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you're broken. Us humans come from lots of different perspectives and filters. Well, if you take original sin, we're broken from the beginning, right? That's a joke for anybody who I'm not being. If you don't get it, then you should not be on this stream. Really, I'm tired of explaining myself. I'm Fantasy Fam. Hey, welcome to the stream. My name is Kamga. Glad to have you here. We're doing the Friday streams and we're talking about friendship, sort of. The topic was how to lose friends and how to win friends, but I've ended up just doing this rant about relationships, about people, about trust, about, stuff. So, welcome. Lorraine, welcome. J'espère que tu vas bien. I am good. Honestly, I am realizing as I get older, and I'm not that old, that life is not about happiness. Life is about life. And life isn't fair. And life is not all about joy, but everything can be a source of joy. It's like this weird contradiction of, if you spend your life looking for only the good things in life, then you will spend your life being miserable. But if you spend your life just enjoying everything that you see, then you would, be happy, even if things don't work out the way you want. So I'm just in that space, and I was like, I don't like this thing that happened. It's annoying me, but it's life, right? So what am I going to do? I can't run away from life. You can't. It's just annoying. Desmond, it's been forever, man. You got a great brain in a better mind. Hope someday work on a unique project that's going to change countless paradigms. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. I think excuse me. For me, it's more like I'm these are great goals to have, and I understand where you're coming from, and I think I felt that way a lot about let me write a book that would change people's perspectives or this. But I found myself in a position now where I'm like, every single day is that opportunity because to do something like this, to work on this kind of project that changes people's paradigms, right? It's a daily grind, like every day. It's not just you wake up one day and you're inspired and you work on it. So I guess I'm trying less to think about this kind of goal and more like, what can I do on every single day that can push me forward towards that direction? And so, yeah, thank you for the wishes, man. So I'm not seeing you in a while. How are you, Desmond? How have you been? Used to write on Facebook a lot. I don't know if you still write. The algorithm on Facebook would never allow me to see all my friends. So if you want to find somebody, you need to find them manually. And I've been cleaning. I started cleaning my Facebook yesterday. I just started cleaning things. Like, I'm curious if you're watching this, whether you're watching a replay or watching right now live. I want to know, what is your definition of friendship, or how do you make friends? I'd like to know your perspective. All right. Yeah. Let me know what your thoughts are on the idea of friendship. I don't mean like romantic relationships. Like, let me clarify. I mean friendships, like platonic friendships. I guess I'll add as an adult because I hope no kids are watching this because I don't think my audience is made of kids. So yeah. Lorraine responded here. You're right. My survival instinct now is to embrace life as it comes. I try to accept my reality while working hard towards my goals. Yeah. There is such a thin line between accepting one's reality and trying to change that reality, right? Because if you accept your reality, then you get comfortable. Like, that's what my brain works. What I've realized very recently. I'm always looking for the duality of things because I think everything is double. There's no one way to do something. The same way Katie was talking earlier about empathy, right? There are people who can really make you feel connected and loved, and it works for them really well. And there are other people who feel alienated if you can't do that kind of thing. So I think there's that duality of nearly everything that, as humans, first of all, it's difficult to accept opposing, perspectives. It's like cognitive dissonance. You can't hold two opposing ideas at the same time. It's just so difficult. So, yeah, you know. But I hear you, Lauren. I think that's a very, very laudable way of looking at things because it's in stages, right? I don't think anybody knows for sure how to deal with life. I think our parents prepare us the best that they can. They also have to get prepared by people who can prepare them the best that they could. And we end up in this position where we are doing what we think is best based on our experience. And then things happen that make us, if we are lucky, if we are self-aware, to reconsider those experiences and then rewrite them and decide, like, is this something that is working for me? It may have worked for you, say, when you were 17, when you were in high school. But then you get to a point in life and you're like, I've been doing the same thing, it's working so far, but it looks like I need to change something about this. You know? Passionate millennial Skitty. My ideas about friendship is about being available. No expectations, but offering help and encouragement. Is loving someone and caring about someone. That's pretty cool. Do you think you can be friends with everybody? That's for passionate millennial. That's Katie. Do you think you can be friends with everybody? Like, based on what you said, I'm just curious. This is not like you don't even have to answer if you don't want to. Just wondering, is it possible to be friends with everyone? But you talk about friendship, not friends. So it's not even, my question is not even relevant. So just ignore it if you cannot answer. Abba says it's very difficult to allow yourself to be vulnerable to your friends when you aren't sure they will understand you. The question that I'll ask with that is, how do you even know that if they're your friends if you cannot trust them, or if they cannot understand you? Like, would you consider such people friends? And I need to preface this with, I just ask these questions a lot. This is something that I've realized recently, that I come off as too logical, less emotional, more evidence searching than people may want to. And some people it's just very annoying. And I never realized how annoying it could be for people. So if I'm annoying you, it's very normal. That's what I do to people, it seems. Maybe it's a fear of being judged or being looked down upon. Wow. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, evolutionary speaking, we don't want to be away from the tribe, right? We want to conform. We want people to love us. We want to be part of a community. So it gets hard to say things that may put you in a position where the community might disregard your presence. So I totally can get how that feeling would be like. So yeah. I think it's possible to be friendly with everyone, but I think the difference of being actual friends involves an investment of time. Time, the great investment, right? How much time do we even have? How much time do we have in this world? Like I was I put up a tweet the other day. Was it a tweet? Yeah. A friend in the span of a week lost two people that I knew died. And I was just thinking about how we think that we have time until we don't. I mean, I'm sure you've probably maybe lost someone that you care about, and there's nothing you can do about going back and telling them that you love them or that you know enjoy their presence. So a lot of times we think we have time, and then we just blink, and then we don't have time. Like Jesus. Abba says it's hard to make friends as you grow older. For me, I think I'm aloof with mundane things. Hence, it limits the kind of conversations you can have with friends, making you seem awkward. Bruh. Bruh. I was already awkward from high school. In fact, I think I was awkward from when I look back to like when I was 10, 11, when I went to college in Cameroon, it's called college. In the US, just I guess high school or middle school. I can count the number of friends that I had now when I look back. Like, and when I say friends, people that I basically, so in boarding school, we had this thing where if you're watching and you've been to Cameroon, you study in Cameroon, you know what boarding school is, and we would call it joining. So essentially, two friends coming from different homes would decide that they're going to put their food together and then eat together throughout the year. So it means that they have a copy of their keys, they organize themselves, they plan their meals together. And throughout my life, there were very few people that I could do that with. I can remember nearly all of them, from one, from two, from three, even to when I decided not to join with anybody. And yeah, it's as you get older, I feel like over time you start finding people that you can deal with, and then you get to a point where you're like, I don't want to deal with knowing people afresh. I'm just not going to deal with that. So yeah. Hey Gina, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? I'm sure you're watching from work, from because I stream every Friday, and if I remember from your stream, you did say that you work from work as well. So thanks for being here. What's up? You annoy me, but it's okay. Well, you're welcome. I annoy most people, so if you're still here, then you're good. Your level past my own. I think that's a compliment. Thank you. I appreciate that. When I first saw your thumbnail, I was like, Kamga was a nerd in the group with glasses and a weird smile. I don't know what to say to that, honestly. Hey, welcome to the stream. T, how are you doing? Liz, hey, how is Denver treating you today? What's up? The music has switched to some high. Music has a way of, in fact, of affecting your mood, honestly, because sometimes you just play the right song. Does anybody have like a song that they play for particular events in their life, like a playlist, a song, like something that if you put this thing and it plays, you will feel a particular way? Do you have any of those in your life? Let me know. Liz, that Sharon said hello, Liz. I hated doing joining. I thought it was a great experience. I thought it was a great opportunity. When I look back now, it's like one of those things that I think in life, every stage has things that you need to do, and that if you don't do them, you might end up trying to do them later on. I feel like even business mergers are just a higher version of joining, because as a child, you need to learn how to communicate, to collaborate, to do all those things. So if you don't learn how to do them as a child, this thing's too loud. I don't like this music. It's too upbeat and too positive. I'm changing it. I'm done with being positive. I have to be negative today. The mood. Let's be moody. So yeah, joining, telling you, Gina, joining is something that I guess it works at a certain stage, and after a certain stage, it doesn't work anymore. So hey, it's much easier for me to maintain friendships with fellow YouTubers. We can share the burden on creativity and fun. You know, you couldn't have said it better. I'll even take it as far as saying that it's much easier to be friends with people who make things, not just YouTubers, because I realize that, like my friend Mark of Leave Your Mark, man, there were so many times in my life, even when I talk about Mark, as this Mark, and then there's Mark, Zikashu Mark Viban of Bakwa Magazine, Howard, Mark for Glory. Like there are people who understand what you do, who can almost intuitively feel and get that the difficulty you're going through is not something that they can help you with, and they don't try to help you with it. People who don't make things, people who don't create online or create at all, have a very hard time understanding the frustration of making things, where you can be frustrated, right? You're trying to edit the video, trying to film, and trying you're wrestling with an idea, and there is not much they can do about it. And so people who don't create, who really care about you, will try to solve that problem that they cannot solve. And the more they try to solve the problem, the more frustrated it becomes. So I completely get, and like it's Katie, it's that's pretty much it. That's what I realized over time. Like if people don't know, it's difficult to be friends with people who don't get what you're doing. It's possible. They're outliers. Like I think it comes to that place of value system and what you have in common. If you don't have a lot in common, it's just difficult. It's just hard. I mean, there's 7.8 billion people on Earth. I don't think you can be friends with everybody. I think you need to find a way to develop the friendship. Sometimes you're friends with people because you live around the same area, the same area. I think the English word for that is propinquity. Like you're born in a neighborhood, and then you have children around your same age in the same neighborhood, so you're friends. But then as you get older and you find yourself and your interests and your goals and your values, you might grow apart or you might grow together, right? So it really depends on that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pause the comments here to acknowledge a big brother who just jumped in here to support me with $10. Thank you so much for the super chat, MTR. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, this means a lot to me. Every single time I get one of these, I remember the first one was Journey with Liz, and the second Journey with Roll with Liz. My two super chats from the last stream. So thank you. Thank you so much. Means a lot to me. I think I'm going to cry. I'll cry in my soul, but I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Oh, this is nice. Feels good to be. I think it's moments like this. I keep saying this phrase, moments like this, that I'm grateful for the internet, because you get to meet people that you probably never meet in real life who can be friends with. I mean, the whole topic is about friendships, right? So the internet has really helped me out. Thanks, brother. Thank you. Yeah, my buddy Mark. Thank you. It's not easy. And like Katie was talking about earlier, with people who don't make things, people who don't create, people who don't make things cannot understand the frustration of making things. And then they try to help you out in ways that just stress the relationship out. So, yeah. Thank you. Yes, Gina, I got a super chat. I even completely forgot about super chat. So I do have a super chat. I do have a super chat. If you want to support the channel, you want to support me, you can go on ahead and donate. It works. It's perfect. And I love it. I love creating. I love making things. If I had it my way, this is all what I'll do. And like MTR just said, keep grinding. It's like this is the way. I don't know if you watch The Mandalorian, but this is the way. You grind, you do the work, and then you just keep doing the work. You get the opportunity to do the work, and that is life. So yeah, thank you. Abbas says there's no manual for how to live life. The more answers you seek, the more darker and crazier you might be. I feel those who just go with the flow of life and live in delusions have a happier life. Do you think they're happier because they're delusional, or because they're ignorant of the real struggles of life? I mean, I don't have the answer to that question. I'm just wondering if that delusion is not what makes them feel like they're doing things, but they probably aren't. They might not be happy. They might have an outward appearance of happiness, but they really aren't. Because I was listening to a room in Clubhouse a couple of days ago where somebody talked about I've forgotten what it was. It was this room about the law of attraction. I don't know why I got into the room. I'm very random like that sometimes. So it was talking about, oh, this is the analogy. I'm going to mess it up, but the analogy was, if life was a job, right, and God was a boss. When you go to your job and your boss says, well, there's nothing to do. Just be happy and blissful. Like, you've been hired for a job and the boss tells you, just be happy and blissful. That's okay. That's it. Wouldn't you feel frustrated to go to work and then they tell you to just sit there and just be happy and blissful? And the idea was that life is this job where you get happiness or you get joy by doing the hard things. And it's not by sitting and just being happy and blissful, because everybody wants to be happy and blissful, right? That's what our goals. Like, let's be happy. Let's do what we want. Let's be passionate. Let's follow our dreams. But the real joy in life, I think, the real happiness comes from overcoming obstacles and building the life that you want. I feel like that's the only way about it. So, yeah. Hey, Layla, welcome. It's good to see you here. So nice to have you guys here, man. Means a lot to me. Friday streams, it's like my own way of connecting with you, and I want to be able to talk with you and, in a more relaxed, less formal method. So, yeah, thank you. Thanks again, brother. I really, really appreciate the super chat. That's really nice. Kamga, why did you exit the group? Because I wanted to. I wanted to exit the group, so I left. That's pretty much it. Hi, Kamga. Please, what software do you use for your streams? It really looks smooth. Thank you, John. So I use my regular camera. So my camera is right there. I connect it to my computer, and then I'm using StreamYard right now to stream. So my camera is a Canon M50. Pretty affordable, great camera for beginner level YouTubers or creators. And then I use Sparkle Cam. So Sparkle Cam is this software that allows me to use my computer, use the camera directly, just plug in through USB. However, I know Canon has an update that allows people to connect their cameras directly to the screen. So I don't know if that would work. Mine had issues. I think my computer has issues with certain software, so I could not use the Canon the EOS software, EOS utility software thingy. So yeah, I couldn't use that. So I just stopped it. So yeah. By the way, I love your message you share with us. Thank you so much, John. I'm riffing ideas because I'm in this space where I feel like my method of making friends or losing friends has been questioned. Like, I question a lot of my own perspectives, my perspectives about things in general. And one thing I realized very recently is how much I want to be very close to people. And in a general sense, not like everybody, not like the internet or 7.8 billion people. It's more like I get invested in people's when I believe in someone, or when I find someone that I like, I get too invested. I would say too fast. And then now I'm seeing a pattern of behavior that I need to work on and address, because the way I build my friendships are based on this mutual understanding. Actually, the lack of mutual understanding that we could be upset, we could fight, we could disagree, but we are still friends. Like, I'm one of those people who believes that it's possible to disagree with someone and still take care of them. But I'm finding out recently that that is not the case with everybody, and it saddens me. And so I need to deal with that sadness. I need to come to understand that this is life. Like, it's not about the way I feel. It's life. There are people are different. People have different perspectives. People have different values and goals and systems. And so it's completely normal. It's not about me. It's about what is. It's about the truth. And so, yeah, I'm in that space where, it's like, I guess it's like doing laundry. For people who don't like to do laundry, you have to do the laundry. Your clothes are dirty. You have to do the laundry. So what are you going to do? Complain? It's not going to help. Cry? Probably not help. Just got to do the laundry, man. So I need to do the laundry in my head. That's what I'm doing right now. Hey, I'm not happier when I go with the flow. I feel so much better when I know what's going to happen and know what time I'll have to work and what time I'll have to do what I want. See, I notice how my mind just goes to the opposite, not the opposite, like the possibility of the truth of what you're saying, because it's like you cannot predict life. You can try your best. We all do. We set alarm clocks, we have deadlines, we take jobs, we do applications, we try to do things, but almost every single time something goes wrong. And I think a huge part of going with the flow is accepting that something will go wrong. and being willing to bounce with that. You know? Hey, Abba, I need to make you a mod on the channel because you remind me of what I should be reminding people. Please, if you haven't liked the video, like I said, I'm not in a very good mood today. So I'm so distracted by my thoughts and just wanting to have the conversation that I'm just forgetting the things. There is super chat if you want to support the channel. I did get a support from one of my big bros, MTR, earlier. If you don't know who MTR is, one day I'm going to make a video about this, bro. Like, there's so many people that you find on the internet that change your life. And I'm not saying an understatement. That actually, their message makes you look at things very differently. And honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm aiming to be one of those people who can say that, because I wish I had some kind of people sharing some kinds of messages when I was younger, or forget even younger, like what, 6 months ago, even 2 years ago. The people that I'm seeing now and enjoying now, that, man, if only I had heard about this message. But then that's the thing, right? Katie, Gina, Abba, sometimes you're not ready to hear a particular message. Like, I mean, if you're an African or you have parents who they'll tell you the same thing over and over, and then one day it suddenly clicks. You finally understand what they were saying. Or you become maybe parents tell you something about being a parent and you're like, that's just nonsense. And then you become a parent and then you're like, oh, this is what dad meant. This is what mom meant. I get it now. So I think that sometimes we're not ready for such messages in life. We just aren't. We're not prepared for it. We're not equipped to listen to the message. We need circumstances, hopefully not dire circumstances, to finally understand certain messages and then move on with life. And I think lessons like that will repeat themselves until we finally get it. Or even we're stuck in this pattern of behavior that is not helpful to us, it's not helpful to people we care about. And yeah. They're respectable. What? You say Gina says, okay, they're respectable. Sometimes we just have to do what we want to do. I don't think we have to do what we want. It's like I'm trying so hard to disagree with you. I just believe in the duality of things to the point where it's not like one person is right. It's not that you're wrong or that I'm right. It's not that simple. And I think when we agree that it's not that simple, it actually gets simple, because it's more like, I don't like oranges. Like, but oranges are the best fruit in the world. I'm like, yeah, but I don't like oranges. And it's fine. But people spend their life trying to force people to like oranges when they don't like oranges. That's probably a silly example, but the point I'm trying to make is that we say things that we completely believe in, that we completely agree. Another person doesn't agree with what we say, and then we try to force them to agree with us. Whereas they can agree with what they agree, and we can agree with what we agree, and it was still fine. All right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just too optimistic. And I like it. Like, if I didn't have the optimism that I have right now, so many things would have gone wrong. Completely. Abba says, my other theory is that happiness is a temporal feeling. It isn't specific. I'm choking on my words. It isn't a specific goal that can be attained. For instance, looking back, I smile at the funny converse I had with my late dad. Man, so sorry for your loss. When I talk to my dad now, I'm so I know that one day my dad is going to leave, right? I'm just having the chills just thinking about this. I know that, like, my mom, my dad, like, they're older than me. Almost every parent wants to leave their kids behind, right? And just thinking about my parents just making me feel a certain way. Parents want to leave their kids, but then the kids, as they get older, they get closer to their parents, because as a child, you're fighting with your parents, disagreeing with you, they're telling you to, do things, and you're like, nah, I don't believe in this, I'm a rebel, I'm an adolescent. And then now the conversations I have with my dad, I enjoy them every single. I mean, he's back in Cameroon, I'm here in the US. I've not seen my parents in almost 3 years now. And so when I think of them, I think of how much they love us and how much they've sacrificed and how much they give. Dude, I just cannot help but just love them. Like, they have their issues. Like, my parents are not perfect. They have their problems. But I really just enjoy their company now way more than I used to. And yeah, it's... Abba, I bet it must be hard, man. I don't even know how that can be like, you know? Yeah. You're natural at this. Thanks, brother. I um I feel like I feel like I've spent my whole life underselling myself and I have to actively try to get out of that space. Like I was talking with Mark just literally 2 days ago around 1 a.m. I had this call on Discord and I was trying to explain to him, like, bro, I feel like I'm just stuck here somewhere. I need to get out of it. Thank you. A short time I went off to the ventures. A short time I went off to my adventures with my colleagues, playing with my cats, etc. Yeah. Yep. I it's just so much about life. I think I'm in a bad mood. Like I think I prefaced that at the beginning when I started with the channel. I'm in a bad mood. I won't say dark place. More like I'm in a bad mood that is like this cloud of things that I did not want to deal with, but I have to deal with, and it's part of life. Sometimes you just have to do the laundry. That's my new. I'm going to pattern that as my new phrase. Doing the laundry. You may not want to do the laundry. You may not like to do the laundry, but you have to do the laundry. I feel like that's life. You're born and you're given this gift, and you have to do it. Do the work. You get the opportunity to do the work. The opportunity, but the outcome is not guaranteed. Life. Yeah. I feel like most of us in the stream are overthinkers. I guess like attracts like, right? I think I say I think a lot because I do think a lot. But yeah, I do think a lot. Yeah. Let's talk about that in another stream. Yeah, definitely. Today we'll talk about friendships. Sorry. Um Divine, I haven't jumped your screen yet. Let's talk about that in another stream. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that in another stream. We'll talk about that in another stream. I feel like there's so much, and it's one of those topics like honestly like religion, where I'm just like I'm not comfortable with this topic, but it exists and it needs to be talked about. About what overthinkers. I don't know. I'm just really grateful to have you guys here watching and just hanging out. This is nice, honestly. When I think of friendships, the friendships that I've built over time, like my buddy Howard. This is one of those stories that I tell all the time. I just love the story. Howard, it was Simo Jandier, a mutual friend who basically connected both of us. It was like, hey, this guy, I know this guy. I think you're going to like him. And then we became friends. And the very first day I met Howard, I asked him to pay for my trip to Yaoundé to go and meet Mark. And Howard was so shocked by my request that he was like, okay. Like, imagine you meet somebody for the first time ever, and the person is telling you, hey, by the way, you're paying for my trip. Who does that? For me, it's moments like that show me that this kind of friendship is going to go a long way, because till this day, Howard he doesn't blog. He doesn't, he doesn't, he has a perspective about life that is very interesting that I personally enjoy as a human. We disagree on things, I guess, in a friendly way. And we used to hang out a lot when I was back in Cameroon. And it's one of the guys that I miss a lot. Like I really do miss hanging out with this dude. He's very chill. He can get sassy sometimes. Like, not, he can say things that just punch you. And if you're not strong enough in your sense of self, or you deal with it. Same with Mac. Like, I met Mac in UB Junction. Just, it wasn't random, but yeah, we met on the internet and we hung out. Until this day, I consider these people my friends. And that's the thing about friendship, right? You never know, or you can. I think you can know when somebody is going to become a very good friend. I think it's possible. Yeah. Or is it? Now, this is the part where you tell me. Like, for you, let me know in the comment section. I'm going through them here to see. How do you know that a friend is a good friend? I know Katie, you shared earlier about empathy and understanding and availability. So how do you know that someone is being a good friend when they are friends with you? What are your thoughts? Divine says, we can be okay with our own opinions and decisions now and then change them later. I think it's the whole point about improvement and evolution. Man, couldn't agree with you more, because I've changed my mind I've changed my mind about things a lot, and I change my mind about things pretty faster than most people realize, which is why I'm okay with uncertainty, because sometimes I need the evidence. I don't just have blind faith. I find it difficult to have blind faith with most topics or most people. And even with family members and friends, I would judge you based on the evidence I have of our relationship, not on what I think it should be. Like if you don't show up multiple times for a meeting, if you don't keep your word, if you don't do the things that you say you're going to do, I don't suddenly cut you off, right? I don't just be like, oh, you're a bad person, you don't trustworthy, bye. It's more like now I know how to relate with you, and I choose how I'm going to relate with you, and that might mean not calling you as often as I used to. That might mean not engaging in particular topics with you. That might mean many things. So I agree. Like, we have to keep improving. People don't believe in self-improvement. People, I use the word belief and self-improvement in the same sentence. That doesn't, it's almost an oxymoron. Self-improvement is living, it's not belief. But people say self-help, self-improvement, personal development doesn't work. Like, all these books, they don't help. I'm one of those people who believe that if you cannot afford therapy, personal development books are the cheapest way to begin your journey to repair your life. 100%. 100%. Let's talk about death in another stream. Yes, you did say that. And Katie says, oh, I like the death topic. Coming out of a white American evangelicism, I'm so open to conversations and thoughts. I feel like I should have the conversation with somebody who actually knows more about it than I do, because I know that for me, my perception of death is just limited to what I've read, not even what I've experienced, because I haven't experienced that much death in my life. Like my granddad, I've written about him on Medium a couple of months back. I wrote about my granddad. He died when I was like probably 9, 8, I think. And what I remember about him was my dad taking care of him. Like by the time I think he was like 116 years old by the time he died. He was he was mentally, not mentally unstable. I think he was senile. I think, is that a derogatory term? Anyway, he basically lived his whole life, and he was done. Like, he was still a strong man. Like, my granddad was tall. He had a big voice, and he hung out with us in his last hours. My dad took care of him. Like, I saw my dad taking care of this man in a way that, yeah. He was 116 years old. Yes, probably even more, because at the time when he was born, birth certificates and all that stuff, he moved around a little bit. So my dad doesn't know the guy, but he was definitely more than 100 years old when he died. Yes. So yeah, he was a loud man, very passionate about his family, gave everything to his family. And yeah, when I look at pictures, my dad used to say that when my grandmother, who is also of late, because I have only one grandparent left, my mother's mother. My both granddads are dead. My father's mom is dead. So yeah, he wasn't old. He was a tall dude, loud dude too, chill dude. And my dad used to tell me about the stories that they used to go to the farm, because he had a farm. He was like he had a huge plantation of cocoa, and they will relax and they will talk about life and tell things like, hey, yeah, yeah. And I remember my granddad from my father's stories. Like, that's the thing about memory. That's the thing about that I love about movies, because it gets me to realize that, or stories or writing or all these things that we're doing right now, you need to live a life in a way that people will remember you. For me, I think that is like an ultimate. People remember you in a good way, because it's not about being remembered in an evil way. It's like, how can you live your life such that when you go, people would actually miss you? I think if we had that goal of wanting to be missed, we'll live life in a much more better way. Because for me, when I look at friendship, I want my friends to miss me. Maybe it's selfish, maybe it's just evil, but I want people to look back and be like, man, I wish Kamga was here, because that would mean that I did something that was good. I added value in a positive way. And just as I talk about it, I'm realizing that's really what I want overall in life. I would love to create for a living. Like, when I see a super chatter, like, one more step close to my goals of financial independence, I'm grinding and building and creating. Like, after this stream, I have to work on my Patreon page. I have to work on my website. I'm working on things to allow me to get to that place. But ultimately, I want people to miss me. Yes. Yeah. Abba laughed. It says, Cam guy is guilty as charged. He's one overthinker there. Welcome to the club, my friend. Join, sit down, have a glass of water. Yes, he was 116 years old. For reals, for reals. How could he be evil to want to be missed? I can't fathom that. I'm trying to fathom it because sometimes you can do selfish things to be missed, right? Is it possible? I mean, think about all the parents who do all the things and tell kids like, "This is for your own good. This is for your good. I'm doing this for you," and the kids are like, "No, I hated that." You know, sometimes you can do things and for it to be missed, and then they're not. I'm overreaching here. Let's just agree that I'm trying too hard to find the opposite version of that, and there isn't. All right, you win. I'm always obsessed about the topic of death. People think I'm weird. I don't think I'm obsessed. It's more like I try to remember it because it grounds me. Because no matter how I'm feeling, whenever every single time that somebody that I know has died, I've had to think about my life and what I'm doing. Not what I'm doing wrong, like what is the goal? Because I think it's an important topic that we forget. We think we have time. We think we have so much time, and then we don't. And I feel like if we actually consider how much time we had, we'll be much happier. Goes back to the whole happiness thing. I think we've talked a lot about making friends, losing friends. How do you lose friends? There's a particular friend that I think about till this day who's blocked me on all social media platforms. And the way the friendship died is just so weird. The older I get, I just find it very, very stupid. Honestly, like I used to feel bad about it. Now I'm just like, this is so dumb. And I just can't shake it off. It's like, how do you get to a point in this life that is so limited where you choose to actively not interact with somebody that you were once close with for reasons that's my perspective again. Like for me, I think it's a stupid reason, but for the other person, it might not be. Right? So it's not always about me. Whether it's making friends or losing friends, it's not about one person. It takes two people. I think that's the conclusion here. It takes two people to be friends, to stop being friends. I don't know. The stream is going to end very, very soon. It's a 1 hour stream. I'm glad I did it, honestly, because I considered not doing it. I actually woke up late. Like last night was the past 2 days. I had to call off work yesterday. I just couldn't. And I'm grateful for the job that I have. Like I work full time while doing YouTube, which many people I think don't even realize because I've been pushing so hard on YouTube. But yeah, I think that friendship is a huge part of life, and I think you can be friends with people in different stages. I think you can be friends with your parents because as much as your parents are your parents, there comes a point where you can have that relationship that is not just based on that hierarchy of parent-child, where I would not say it's equal. I mean, I'm African, so it's difficult to say I'm on equal terms with my dad or my mom. But the things that we talk about now, the way we discuss has changed. Not because I've gotten older, because we've gone to a place where we can understand and share ideas and really, disagree. Like with my dad, I disagree with my dad about things a lot. But the cool thing is he's open to that disagreement, and that encourages me to be open to disagreement as well and to be okay with being wrong. But he's hardly ever wrong, actually. Sometimes he says things and they're really cool things, and I just want to find ways. And yeah. So friendship is a big deal. I love my friends. I really do. I just want to have fewer of them now. I think I'm going to reduce the number of friends that I have because I realize that I get too invested. And then when the friendship dies, it's like a part of me dies. And I don't want that. But maybe I'm just being selfish. Maybe not. I don't know. Abba Wave, are you on Facebook? There's a great group called Stairs in Mortician. I would not want to be in that group. I know I'm interested in the idea of death, but I don't want to get so passionate about it. I cut out a friend who was a Trump supporter who mocked Black Lives Matter. I don't need any more people in my life. With politics, with religion, with I don't know how I feel about. Actually, I do know how I feel about politics. I don't talk about politics, like probably ever, because I'm not knowledgeable about it. I know it's important, and the more I read about philosophy and stoicism, I see that many Stoics were actually players in the politics game, meaning that they were there for leadership, for building community. So I still have a lot of I need to educate myself about politics. That's what I can say about this. So I can understand having to not deal with people who don't have the same values as you. I think it's important to set boundaries, right? To decide like, okay, are we on the same page about the important things? If not, then let's part ways. Like life is short and long, and I don't think we should burden ourselves with trying to please all the people that we come across. It can be polite, it can be nice, but you don't have to. Ms. Williams, you're coming towards the end of the stream. Or let me find out from you people. If you're enjoying this stream and you want me to hang out, because I really was planning to do this stream once and then make a phone call, we can hang out for 30 more minutes. Just like the video and then maybe share with someone. Just send it out there for someone who might want to see it. I mean, I'm really enjoying this chat and I want to stay a little bit longer. So I'm going to extend it since Miss Williams has come. Welcome for being late. 1 hour late for that matter. You can like the video, share with someone. Let me know that you want to hang out for some few more minutes and then we'll do that. Boy, I wish my dad was like that. One of my favorite books on earth is this book. I love this book. I don't know if you've read it. If you haven't read it, you should. And every time I read this book at least once a year. I think it's almost time for me to read it. Every time I read The Alchemist and I see the story of Santiago, and there's a scene. This is spoilers. I don't want to give spoilers, but there's a scene with when Santiago tried to go after his dream, and he was explaining to his dad why he wants to go after his dream. And for his whole life, his dad had actually disagreed with him. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but his dad said something and essentially gave him his blessing after the conversation that they had. And Santiago started his journey. So for me and my dad, we've not been really that close for long. Like, I think we gotten close because I got into a place where now I can understand some of the things I said. I personally was very lazy. I think even now I'm still a little bit lazy in a way that I need to work on. And my dad also had his own issues to deal with. And I mean, being raised on the continent in Africa and Cameroon, it's like the way people look at parenting is different. Each home is different. But I came from a home where I'm lucky and blessed. Like, me and my siblings, our parents are very open to new ideas. They're not soft. They don't spoil us, but it's more like they at least allow us to share perspectives, even if they don't agree with us, because most African parents don't care about your feelings. And I'm generalizing here. Most, they don't care. So yeah. This reminds me of Sabina's write-up on Poise Social this week. She had quite a cool perspective about close ties and loose ties. I'm beginning to relate to your idea of friendship to hers now. Yeah, I think I saw that post, and the first thing that came to my mind was a TED talk by Dr. Meg J called she wrote The Defining Decade. And if you're in your 20s, even in your 30s, dude, you need to read that book. The Defining Decade talks about the power of weak ties. The TED talk alone is a lot. If you can watch a TED talk, The Defining Decade, I keep saying Defining Decade, but it's more than that. I forgot the title of the TED talk, but Dr. Meg J and 20-somethings, the result will come out. You will watch that TED talk. When I saw Sabine's article, I was like, yep, I can see the relationship between those two, because I do that a lot. This is something that I found out about myself. I tend to link. I notice patterns. Like, I generate ideas and I notice patterns, like my personal superpower. So yeah, I agree. I think her article, I haven't read it yet, but I'm sure she's made a lot of value. I mean, she does say really nice things, so I'm not surprised at all. Why do people want to be remembered? Why are humans obsessed with establishing legacy? Truth is, we will just end up as figment in the memory of people who knew us. Yes, I agree. We will. And that's okay. I don't see what's wrong with that, personally. It's like, okay, let me put it this way. Why do you eat if you're going to be hungry again? Why don't you just stop eating? Why do you just stop eating? Because it's going to end up in the same place, right? I feel like that's the question here. Why do you take showers today if you're going to take a shower tomorrow? What's the point? There is no point. It's just what you do. Maybe that's too overly simplistic. I'm not saying that your question is not relevant. It's more like the way the way my mind thinks about this situation is like, it's just nice, you know? It's just nice. I had a childhood friend that cut me off because I didn't support him demonizing his ex. He got married without inviting me. The first thought that came to my mind was good riddance. If somebody's not going to, but then again, it depends. I mean, I wasn't there for the conversation, so I don't know what has happened. But I mean, I've had people who've cut me off because I did something that they thought deserved them to cut me off. Like, I try to look at things from people's perspectives, even when people hurt my feelings, which has happened very recently, more times than I would like. It's just happened like back to back now. It's more like, I guess I'm just expecting to hurt people's feelings now. You sometimes you have to cut people off. It doesn't mean that you have to block them or delete their numbers. You have to just reduce that interaction. And there was this graph that I saw about, I think it was sibling friendship or parent-child friendship, where it's like they're showing two lines and they show how, as a child and a parent, they're very close, and then towards adolescence they separate, and then they come back and then they separate. Something like there were different graphs about relationships between siblings, between friends, between high schoolers, where you have people who are very close at a particular point, they go their different paths and then come back. And sometimes just separate, sometimes they just stay together till death. So I think it's sometimes people have to walk out of your life so that other people can walk into your life. And as sad and painful as it is what it is. But it sucks. I know that probably more than you might even realize. I know how much it sucks for people that you thought were friends, people that you cared about, to just walk out of your life or cut you off. It sucks, man. It does suck. The way I try to look at it is like, we had a journey together. We had a role to play in each other's lives. We had lessons to learn from each other. And our lessons are ending now. And wish you the best. Yeah. I try to be as positive as possible because the negativity in the world is just too much. Like, life is unfair. Bad things happen all the time. If you want to look for all the bad things, you will find them. There's enough bad things in the world to justify atrocities. I just make the very personal choice that I am not going to let negativity bring me down. Ever. I'm in a bad mood today. I've been in a bad mood yesterday. I'm aware of that. And I'm choosing to do things that would help me feel better, because I know that this is just a phase. And that, same as happiness and things, the most important thing that is constant until it stops is that life, this existence, this body, this voice that you're listening right now. It's there. And I think we spend a lot of time trying to find things that are already there. I don't even know how to say this, but we ignore the things around us. Like, look at this hand. How often do you look at your hand and be like, how was this even made? Like, what is this? What is this line? Like, what the hell is this? Why would I be made with a line? Like, what is this? I'm going crazy now. Let's stop that. That's so rough. Yep, I agree. That was rough. That's really rough. A friend is a good one when they respect you and are true to themselves. Most people hate their realities and most people hide their. I need to get my glasses today. This is not fair. All right. Friends are good one, they respect you and are true to themselves. Most people hide their realities, and I find it disappointing to know some truths about a friend only when they are down. Some people find it hard to communicate. I don't blame them at all. For me, that's why I'm limiting my friendship circle, because I invest too much in people, and I want that trust to exist. Because if you're down and I don't know about it, I feel betrayed, because my job as your friend is to support you. And if you choose to keep that away from me without a good reason, if it happens too many times, then it's a problem. Some people just don't know how to open up. Like, some people just have a hard time opening up to others, and it's just their strength, and they have to learn and improve and grow. I mean, that's the whole point of personal development books. So when I find out that you hit something from me, I'll be bad. I'll feel bad, like, hey, you could share it. Funny enough, we talk about that because I was watching, there's this anime that I love, Jujutsu Kaisen. Watched the episode yesterday, and there's this friend whose sister is in trouble, and he chooses to push away his friends to go and take care of the business by himself. And then His friends follow him and catch up with him. And then they're like, why didn't you, we're friends. Tell us. And then he's feeling bad and he starts to explain it. And as he says the first sentence, they're like, yeah, of course, we'll take care of it with you. And then they walk away. Like, you don't want to hear the details. You don't want to hear what's going on. I mean, it's anime. Friendships in anime are pretty dope. But in real life, people can actually believe and trust you without you having to explain things to them. You can be like, hey, I need your help. I need 5,000 francs or $5,000. Like, ASAP is really important. And somebody who's a friend can actually give you the money, knowing that whatever it is that you want is very important, even though you're not come to them. That's why trust is important in friendships, I think. Trust is really, really important. Yeah. So you have to be able to trust people, man. If you cannot trust people, you cannot be friends. I think it's hard. I'm already missing you, Lorraine. Whenever I come to Cameroon, we'll organize a meet and greet and some seminars and networking events. 100%. If you like, I miss Cameroon so much. And the funny thing is, I don't even miss Cameroon itself. I miss the people. I miss my family. I miss my friends. I miss people at E. I miss that feeling of being in a community where you're valued and you're doing something that is helping somebody else. I know it's possible to do from here everywhere on the internet, online, like 100%. It's just when you're born and raised in an environment and you start seeing the role that you can play to improve that environment, and then you get out of it, it changes you. I wouldn't talk about politics and religion with friends. Unfortunately, most friends are obsessed with such mundane topics, and without having such a discussion, you don't have much to talk about. Maybe you need new friends. Let's be friends. I think in fact we're friends. So message me on IG. Let's chat. One thing I discovered about America that's different from Cameroon is how much people are invested in politics here. And I think it's with reason. In Cameroon, for some reason, I don't like this upbeat music. I need to change that. Like some chill, lo-fi, chill pop type music. Politics is such an interesting topic. The history of my tribe in Cameroon politics is rife with death and people who, like, you hardly find a Bamileke who's trying to run for office. It's very rare because we've been taught in the past that if you tried, you actually get killed. And more people don't even know about our history, about, people who were murdered, tortured, villages burned down because they tried to get into politics and to lead the country to independence in their own way. So I think there's a whole generation of Bamilekes who just don't want anything to do with politics because the burns that they've had from that, nothing. So we just stick to gossip. Oh man, I don't gossip. I complain. This is the thing about my friends. My friends will tell you I complain about very stupid things. Like I will call Emmanuel or I'll call Tikwe, and I will talk about things that will make you laugh. Like, Kamga, why are you paying attention to this thing? Because that's who I am. I get petty sometimes, but the thing is, I cannot get petty to people who don't understand that it's a temporal thing. Like, I'm not actually petty. It's more like this thing is annoying me, and I want somebody to hear that's annoying me. That's it. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to help me. You don't have to tell me what to do. Just listen to me, laugh at how petty it is, and that's it. But people don't get it. I think we want to have a legacy and be remembered because our spirits are created like that, with a sense of eternity. The fact that we have a concept of eternity kind of proves it exists. Now we're heading to philosophical grounds. We should have a conversation about this at some point. That'll be cool. I want to see how that. That'll be cool. The main problem is managing space and time in relationships, I guess. Imalet, welcome. You're always on the stream, man. This is nice. It's nice to see same names. I feel like we're kind of family. I call my YouTube family a family because, and I have good things working on. I'm working on a couple of things. I want to get this community together. Like, I really want to have people who are like-minded, who enjoy my work, and who want to talk to each other to be in a space. So I am working on a couple of things to get that to happen because I realize that YouTube comment section is great, but it's also open to everybody, which makes it a little bit disorderly and sometimes evil. So I'm working on something really cool. I will announce it when it's available. So just stick around. I think you're going to like it. How about cutting me off and I don't even notice? Was that a friendship? If somebody cuts you off and you don't even notice that they cut you off, then that says a lot about the relationship that you had with them. I'd rather let it fade. It's more organic than cut people off. I disagree with you. This is what social media has done. I think I read this in an article or I saw it somewhere, and I believe it to be true. There are people who organically, you go to high school, you go to college, you will move out of each other's lives and go to different places. But because of the way the internet works, you stay connected even though you're not connected. So that organic fade doesn't happen, which means that sometimes you have to step in and be active about cutting people off. And I say cut people off is like you don't go out there and make a scene. It's more like this is my Facebook page. We are no longer friends. If we weren't friends in real life, we'll probably not be connected here. So why do I need to see pictures of you getting married, you with your kids? Like, I don't need that. So no, I will cut you off. Because the internet is making it harder for that organic cutoff to happen. So I think you need to be able to take the step if it's important for your well-being and your mindset. Because some people, it doesn't bother them. For me, when I see somebody that I don't have a relationship with, it's a waste of my energy. I just no. I think it's just an ego thing to feel your existence was important in life somehow. I think my existence is very important. If not, I would not even be doing this stream. I'll just sit in my bed and just wallow in sadness. I think existence, but not just mine, but every single person, including yours, Abba. I think the fact that we're having this conversation is extremely important to our personal experience of life. I don't think importance has to be, I don't know, Apple or Steve Jobs or Gandhi. I don't think it's that. I think the fact that we are alive is important in its own. So I don't need much for it to be important to me. I don't know if that makes sense. Lauren says, sometimes when somebody blocks you on social media, one, you hurt them deeply and they're avoiding your bad energy. Two, your success hurts them and they're envious. People have things to work on. I think we all have things we need to deal with. And sometimes you just need to cut people off, man. Lauren, that's such a good point. People shouldn't only know the truth about your life when you're down. Yeah. I think it goes back to the whole, thing, finding out about your friend when they were down. I think trust is very important in friendships. But so how do you gain trust? That can be the subject of a whole other stream. How do you gain? I think if I had to riff on that topic, it would be trust is based on evidence of your previous interactions. Like, do you keep your word? Are you consistent in who you are? Are you the same in every environment? I think it goes back to consistency. Like, I cannot trust people who act a particular way in a different environment and also act in a different way in a different environment. Or people who I tell straight up, like, hey, I don't like this. And then they do the same thing over and over again. I can't trust you. I find it difficult to trust people personally. Like, Abba, I would like to hear your take on this because I know it seems like I'm just so positive and loving life, but I think that sometimes you need to be careful about who you open up to. Not just about because of the internet people, but just because when I look at people who've been burnt in life, like heartbroken, divorces, all those things, they find it harder to trust people because they trusted people once and then somebody disappointed them. And then they end up just extrapolating like human beings cannot be trusted. And then they have a hard time in life. So I feel like it's very important to be careful and have your own parameters on how you trust people. So what are yours? I'm curious. Adebe, what is this all about? I just peeped. Welcome. We're talking about friendships and we're actually about to close the stream because I extended the stream for a few 30 extra minutes. I was hoping to get Miss Williams to share what she wanted to talk about, but she disappeared. So we're talking about making friends and losing friends. We're just riffing, having this chat to see what people's perspectives are on trust, on friendships, on cutting people off and things like that. So welcome to the stream. And if you haven't liked it yet, you can like it. If you want to support the channel, there's a super chat. Definitely there. I just had a super chat by a big bro donated earlier. So yeah, you can support the channel with that if you want to. And I'm working on some things to bring this community together. So welcome, Tenadem. Sorry, mispronounce your name. What defines my relationship as a friend with one person would not necessarily be the same thing that defines my relationship with another, but we're still friends. Well put, Divine. You've captured that duality of existence that I personally believe in, where you can be friends with somebody for one reason and friends with another person for a completely different reason, and those two people might not even be related or be friends with each other. I think it's very possible to have those two. To actually, yeah. The reason why, for example, I'm friends with Howard is very different from the reason why I'm friends with Tikwe. There are some things in common, yes, but I mean, I guess I'm the person in common with them. But I don't even think that they'll be good friends together. Like, that's the thing about friendships. You might have people who are, you're good friends with them, but when you know who they are and they know you, you can know, like, yeah, these two people are not going to see eye to eye, or that chemistry will not be present because they're just different. And so la vie. There can be one general underlying value, but there are always different levels to each friendships. Exactly. You basically just said what I mean, if I had read this comment, I would not have said what I said, because yeah, that's true. You can have something, but it's different, you know? Yes, I read The Alchemist. Thanks to you. About a hard copy. The Alchemist, see, I recommend this book to everybody who's going through a hard time. It's, people call it the personal development book. I think it's just a good story that has very powerful lessons. So if you are going through a tough time, if you're dealing with hardship, I think it's a good place to start. I think, let me rephrase that. I think, this is my opinion. I'm not saying that it's going to help you, because some people say they hate the book. Some people have not been able to finish the book. So people are different. I think even trust needs a defined scope in order to function. Yes, I think so too, because you can't trust everybody. If you trust everybody, then it means you trust nobody. Ms. Williams, finally, I see your comment. I agree with Imalet. I already let it fade, especially when I stop liking you. Is that what is happening to me? Have you stopped liking me? Let's know. Tell the public. I love it, politics, but you can't talk about it without emotions flaring left and right. It just gives me headache. My mental health matters. Hey, I wish people would actually talk about it more logically, because I know I have a neighbor, Paul, who he actively engages in political conversations to understand people. Like I will not say he's unemotional. It's more like he chooses to see the other side's perspective and really understand where they're coming from. He's very intentional about his understanding of people. So I think it's possible. It's just one of those exercises that you have to decide, are you willing to invest the energy to do that or not? Like, yeah. Yep, this stream is going to end in about 10 minutes. I trust people based on how they behave when I'm not around. But then how will you know when you're not around? So how would you know? I'm still here and commenting heavily. Oh yeah, I said that and then I saw your comments. Please don't leave me. Trust me. Like me, please. It's all about let it go. Trust me. You cannot pretend you don't care, then purposely block or cut them off. This just proves that you do care. I disagree with you, Imal. If you do care about your health, for example, this is going to answer the. I don't want to talk about this here on this stream because it's personal, and I'm not in the place to talk about it. I choose to cut people off when I realize that I have certain emotions whenever I see their face or their name. And when I want to change bad habits in my life, I do cold turkey. Like, I don't do the progressive, like, oh, let me try and then cut it off. Like coffee, for example, I don't drink coffee. I just stop. So I think it depends on your personality. When you break up with an ex or with a friend, would you just forget them because you've broken up? I don't think that's possible. You need to actively put steps to reduce their contact with them, to help you heal, to help you move past their presence in your life. So cutting off people on social media, for me, it's a very relevant part of the journey to reclaiming yourself and rebuilding what was broken because of that relationship. So if you say that is just, you're not letting them go off, I completely disagree with you, because I think that as an individual, for me, it might work for you. Let me rephrase that. It might work for you, but it doesn't prove that you don't care because you blocked somebody off. I care enough about not wanting to know what you're doing to the fact that I'm putting that thing. I don't want to deal with you. So, no. Miss Williams laughed. Okay, cool. I'm in. You just mispronounced my name incorrectly. Oof, sorry. It happens to me all the time. I know the feeling. But never mind, no worries. How do I keep my friendships? Like, how do you keep the bondage very strong? I think it develops over time. I'm not even going to claim to be an expert in friendships. I'm not going to claim to know anything. My personal experience with friendship is that I get invested in relationships that I care about, and I feel betrayed when I don't receive that equal investment. And I don't know if it's selfish, maybe something I need to work on. But I personally think that you need to be able to choose the people that you can put that much energy in. And now I'm learning is that you have to be okay with them disappointing you, and also deciding what you're going to do when they disappoint you. But then if you go into relationships or friendships thinking that they're going to disappoint you, then you'll get into a very, very bad place in your head because you'll not be present. It's like going for a marriage hoping to get a divorce, right? Nobody goes to a marriage wanting to get divorced. It happens, But if you go and you're prepared, like, oh, if this doesn't work out, I'm out. The tendency is that you're not going to stay in there long. So how do you keep your friendships? Be a good person. I know it's a general statement, but what I'm saying is just be nice. Be excellent to each other. But your question is very important. I know I'm making jokes and laughing about it, but I think it's an important question. I need to think about it. Let the people know, if you're reading the story, the question here that Tenadem Abebe, please, I cannot pronounce your name. When I'll get a Discord running, we'll be able to talk inside, and actually I'll be able to hear your pronunciation. But yeah, I think that, let me read what the other people have suggested in the comment section here. If you're going through hard times, just check for help. Therapy is good. Yeah, therapy is good, but not everybody can afford it. I don't know any therapists in Cameroon. Like, even in the African continent, people who cannot afford therapists, because people think, even here in the US, like, just go get therapy, right? Just go get therapy. Go get therapy. How much is therapy? Do they give you the money to get it? Is it free? Can you afford it? The problem is we need to learn how to communicate without vilifying the other person. We need to be able to disagree respectfully. Yeah. If wishes were horses, right? I mean, the whole point of the world, like countries and divisions and wars, is because we don't know how to do this. I feel like that's really the thing. We don't know how to do it, because if we did, a lot of things wouldn't happen. With politics, it's very difficult to see the other person's view. I don't like talking about politics with my friends. Hey, I don't talk about politics with anybody. Like, not even friends, not family. I just don't. I don't know anything about it, so I don't. No thanks. Dagim Tiroro. Units is make you strong African. Think about Ethiopian. Okay. I don't understand what you said. I would try to. Units making strong African. Think about Ethiopia, Inabe, Nile, Dam, Egypt, host Sudanese politician for war. I feel like you're trying to say something. I just cannot understand it. I'm very sorry about that. So, yeah. Dagim, first of all, thank you for being here and expressing yourself. I don't know what you're trying to say, but I'm sure it's very important. So if you can repeat that, or say in another way, I would appreciate it. I don't have a strict guide to choosing friends, but I like people with chill vibes and people who are laid back to complement my hot-headed nature. That's cool. I think I'm done making friends in my life. Yeah, that's like a conclusion of this stream. I think I've reached a point in my life where either I'm done, or I've just put a pause on that idea of friendship. Like, you know what? I will know you, we'll talk, but the idea of friendship is, I'm good. Like, for now, I'm good. I don't need friends. I have enough, and that's fine. I think that a big part of keeping friends is being willing to be vulnerable. Vulnerability, the age-old topic. How do you get vulnerable? I don't think it's something that people can just easily just become vulnerable and just open up their hearts and just take my soul. I think it's harder to be vulnerable than we think. I think some people, like, it's easier for some people to be vulnerable than others. As a Black African man, right, the idea of vulnerability, I don't want to open this kind of worms, but it's I know white Africans, yes, they are. Vulnerability is not something, now that I think about and I learn about being a man, being an adult, and the things that you go through, it's not that simple for most people to be vulnerable, especially men. It's not because they don't want to, it's just not part of our framework of reference with life, right? True, I ghost people a lot. I just ghost people, I think, is a coping mechanism. Hey, see, we find our ways to adjust. Like, let me put it this way. I'm sitting here doing a live stream, right? I say I'm in a bad mood. I say this, I say that. There are probably other ways that I could have been solving this problem. Maybe talking with my dad, maybe talking with a friend, maybe talking to a therapist. But this right here, right now, is helping me. Would you consider this a coping mechanism? I don't know. I think if something works for you and it's not harmful to you in the long run or to other people in the long run, it's fine. Like, honestly, I think that there are many solutions to the same problem, and there's no one way to get it done insofar as certain things are met, safety, compassion. Like, there are a bunch of things that have to be met, but I don't think we should force people to do things in one particular way just because That's the way it has been done. I don't know. I ghost people when I see the friendship getting toxic. Shoosh, that's rough. Sully Sol. Sol stands for sun. Sully, are you as bright as the sun? Welcome to the stream. I've been very lucky with friendships all my life, Miss Williams says. I think loyalty and consistency in friendship is the most important thing. I always try to understand people before deciding if they will be my friend. That's what I'm trying to learn now, Miss Williams. I wish I'd done that. I do it on a certain level, but then I guess I don't test the relationship intentionally to find out, because most of the people that I call my friends, we've really worked out really well over, like Tikwe, that I consider my best friend. Like this dude, if this dude told me today that he needs money and I should sell everything and send the money, I will. Like, I'm not saying this because I'm too perfect or that he's a good guy. I honestly trust this guy and I will trust him with my life. I know, intellectually speaking, people should not be trusting people, just like that. But the, we've been friends since we were 16 years old. Like, we've been friends for like decades. And over time, it's only gotten better. So to have people like that in your life, man, that is a blessing. And you don't need that many. What I'm realizing now is that you don't need that many people. You can still be supportive to people. You can still build a community. You can still know people, help them, talk with them. But friendship is sacred. And you don't need that many people to be friends with. If you take anything from this stream, I think that's it. That's what my conclusion is, that it's nice to have friends, people who support you, people you can be vulnerable with. But don't go around trying to make friends out of a coping mechanism or trying to cope with life by just investing in people and trusting people and trying to solve their problems. Vulnerability takes practice. It's a muscle to grow. Yep. There's a lot of NGOs in Douala Yaoundé for mental health. Imalet, I had I'll say a huge disagreement with a friend, because this is one thing that I've finally understood and realized. It's going to be a silly example. I stopped recommending people to read books because I realized that whenever I told people to read books, they sort of never did. So what I'm doing now is getting people to come to me, and then I tell them, okay, what kind of books do you like? What are you looking for? Here's a book for you. Because I realized that as much as I wanted people to read, I wanted them to, educate themselves. I'm very passionate about reading books. I want everybody to read books. I think books are amazing. But because I was so forceful and forgetting the fact that I have that information, I have read books, I've seen the effect of books in my life. It's my personal experience that reading books is great. These people I'm talking to have a very different experience of life, have a very different perspective. Like, I had disposable income in Cameroon to buy books. Not everybody does that. I had access to the internet at an early age. Not everybody has that. So when I see statements like this, right, I hear what you're saying, and I understand that you want to help, because if not, you would probably not be in this stream. Like, we are kindred spirits. But the one thing that I'm hoping that you can keep in mind is that some people just don't have access to this information, and so they try to cope with what they have, and forcing them with this information. And I say forcing, I mean like just telling them, like, go get help, go find somebody to assist you with. There's therapists in Cameroon. It's ignoring the fact that the idea of therapy itself, they are not even comfortable with it. They don't even have that conversation with somebody who can help them and say, therapy works, therapy is good, here's how much it can cost, here's what you can do. To walk them through that process of wanting to even go and see a therapist and sit there and talk with somebody that they don't know. Like, we don't even talk with our parents, most of us. But then we want people to get up and go and talk to a stranger about their lives. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to assume that people will just enjoy therapy because it exists. You and I, Imale, we know the power of therapy. I agree with you 100%. But we need to consider that people who just are stigmatized, afraid, not vulnerable, don't know how this thing works, that need to be walked through with that. And I'm one of those people. Like, I know it intellectually speaking, but I'm one of those people who requires a certain level of understanding that the person I'm going to be talking to gets where I'm coming from. And so it's not that simple. That's my point. Humans aren't easy creatures. We don't want peace. Well, I don't have anything to say about that, about honesty, because I think that I don't have anything to say. Vulnerability, really? What do you mean? Was that a vulnerability about what? To Like, I don't understand the context. Sorry, I don't ghost people on purpose. I'm a YouTuber and a twin mom and editor, and I just don't have the ability to maintain a million friendships and acquaintances. I don't think anybody does. I think there was research that was done to show that the largest size of the human tribe is like 150 people that you can stay in close contact with. But now we have social media and you have 5,000 friends and you're trying to keep up with all the 5,000 friends. That's just stressful, man. Vulnerability is the word. Vulnerability is the word. Personally, I think therapy is relative. Ooh, that's a topic for another stream. With friends, you are vulnerable. Friendships cover vulnerabilities and make them strengths. When I was talking about the whole idea of complaining to Emmanuel and other people, it's like, I get vulnerable with people that I can trust to not use that information against me, or to understand that it's not coming from a place of wanting pity. People often hear you talk about your problems and they just want to help so badly that they forget that there are problems that you need to deal with yourself. I think the problem is we don't know how to leave that space where somebody can bring a problem to you and then you will help them understand the problem better and just be there as a support partner, not like giving the problem, let me solve it for you because I'm a friend and I love you. So, yeah. All the people I call friends, I've known them for at least a decade. I've gotten to that point now in my life where I realize that I might not be able to make new friends again for the rest of my life, and it's okay. Well said, Fosuwaze. Enemies will instead turn your vulnerability into weakness. Yeah. And if you've read the 48 Laws of Power, you probably know something about this sentence. I don't want to talk about it now because it's going to open another kind of worms. But if you've read the 48 Laws of Power, you know the idea of enemies and friendships and all those things. So, yeah. Viennois tea. People hate being commended. You mean like because commending is when you give a good, you say something good. Like what do you mean, Viennois? I'll be reading the comments a little bit faster now to catch up with everything. There's a difference between friendship and acquaintances. Someone talks with you a couple of times and concludes you are friends. How? It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Like when I used to write a lot on Medium, people will read my stories and then assume they were friends because they know about my story. But it's a two-way street. You cannot be friends with me when I'm not friends with you. I don't think it's possible, right? You can have acquaintances. You can know a lot of people, but you cannot trust everybody. Don't just look for friends everywhere. That's not how it works. There's a difference. You're right, Dulu. You're very correct. You're very correct about this. It's difference, yes. I've got a pretty darn vulnerable going on my main vulnerable video, I guess, going on my main channel tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I've turned on my notification. I have over 1,000 plus notifications. Like, I've been receiving so many comments on my reaction videos recently that I just can't keep up. I used to pride myself on being able to respond very, very fast, but now it's like I'm looking at comments that were put a week ago. I'm like, Jesus Christ, when will I recommend? When will I comment all this? And if you're watching this, please like the video. Also, just know that you have a super chat available. If you want to support the channel, you want to support me, you can go on ahead and donate. It starts from probably, I don't know, $0.1 or something. But yeah, so yeah. And I'm working on bringing this community together because as much as I love the comment section and I love everything that's going on, I want to provide, like I have my notes here and everything that I've been working on for weeks on how the best way to serve this community and also grow as an individual and provide a service that can allow you to support me financially if you want to. So I've been racking my head thinking of methods, thinking of ways to do it. So if you want to know about that, just stick around, turn on the notification bell. I'm going to put up the video when I'm done with it, to make the announcement. But it's going to be really cool. I think you're going to like what I'm going to do. And I think that these conversations we're going to be having these kind of conversations like live. Like, I don't give spoilers. Just stick around. All right. Vino says, if any continent needs therapy, it's Africa, Middle East, Asia. All the civil war is crazy. I couldn't agree with you more about how much we need to take care of the mind on the African continent. And there's just so much strife, so much struggle. People have gone through a lot of things, and they just get up the next day and go to work. And then you have parents who are acting up on children who are acting up on siblings. You see children raising children, and then generations of people who never live their potential, who never achieve, a good life at their own level. I don't believe that a good life has to be monetary, money and all that stuff. But I really believe in defining success for yourself. Success for yourself can be starting a family, and that's it. And nobody can come and disagree with you that you're successful. I think people mistake trying to, the greed of amassing wealth and having these things in the world, to the peace that comes with doing the things that you were called to do, whether it's having a job that you love or just being a grandfather. Like, we need therapy, man. I hope more Africans will get trained in the field, because the context also is very important. Yeah. Nearly 3K subscribers. Yes, sir. Welcome to the stream. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, nearly at 3K subscribers. I have many people coming in because of my Ethiopian reactions. I still have so much more to offer. Like, I wish people would realize that. I mean, you're not going to realize it until I do it, but a lot of the videos that I do now, the reaction videos, are just part of my personality. Like, what I really like to do is talk about these things. And so hopefully, anybody who's joined in because of the reaction videos will stick around. And looking forward to that. A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Yes. Soli Sol, 100%. 100%. When I read that, I think of my buddy Tikwe. Tikwe, this dude is a brother from another mother. Like, we became friends. I don't even remember how we became friends. We don't even have a lot in common. Like, this is a strange thing about our friendship. We don't have, like, I love anime. He doesn't. We have a similar sense of humor. And we are very, very, I guess we talk about serious topics a lot. And we think, not that we're overthinkers, but we think about things deeply. And I feel like that's been a huge aspect. That's something that's really helped our relationship a lot more. Video. Okay, yes. Oh, you're from Cameroon. I'm from Ethiopia, currently living in California, LA, and it's very helpful. Thank you, sir. Just one last question. Just only being nice. Does that mean I keep my friendship? I don't know. I think that's an acquaintance, like what Lulu said earlier. You can be nice with the people around you. In fact, I think we should be nice to everybody we meet. But we don't walk around on the street and be like, hey, I like your hat. Let's be friends. Right? I think you can even be nice with people that you don't consider friends, and then they might realize, or you might realize that you're no longer friends. I think it's a complex topic. It's really relative to where you are, what you want, but being nice overall, I think being nice is nice. Sometimes you need to set boundaries. You can still set boundaries in a nice way. You can still tell somebody like, hey, listen, this thing is not working out. I don't think we should be friends anymore. I mean, I don't know who does that, but I feel like you can be nice. And yes, I'm from Cameroon, 100%. Yeah, I'm from Cameroon. California, Los Angeles. Dude, I've heard so much about California. I've never been there. I have a couple of friends who live in San Francisco, and I'm looking forward to visiting someday. So I don't know if that answers the question. Maybe somebody in the who's watching can help answer more better than I will. But just only being nice, does that mean I keep my friendship? I don't think so. I think you can be nice with everybody without, I just think it's nice to be nice. Just be nice. Just be nice. Very true, Lulu. My real friends, we don't even talk that often. The useless people I discuss, the useless people I discuss with them often, and we talk mostly rubbish. Oh man, you need to make space to talk about rubbish in life. All right, it's part of life. Rubbish is important. Okay, take rubbish seriously. You should give yourself an hour per video or something. Hey, this stream was supposed to be an hour. I'm just enjoying the conversation right now, and honestly, I feel great about this connection. So I chose to change. I changed the rules of the game. That's what I do. I roll the punches. I go with the flow. All right. We have 13 people watching right now. Enjoying the comment section. I'm not going to drop you guys off. We're friends, right? I think being available and caring about what is going on in your life is a big part of what it takes. That's why you cannot be available to everybody's problems. You need to pick and choose who you're available to. I think you cannot be available to everyone all the time. Thank you, Sally. Real friends, no matter how long y'all go without talking, there's always something to catch up on. That's Lulu. Yeah. Dude, I agree. Hey, Mika, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the love. I have been enjoying. This is the thing that people have not realized about my Ethiopian videos reactions. I am learning so much about Ethiopia and realizing how much I don't know about the country and how much I don't know about my country and how much I don't know about other African countries. So as I'm progressing, I don't know if you've noticed, but my reactions are getting more and more educated. Like I know a little bit of what I'm talking about. So thank you for being here, Mika. I appreciate you. Thank you, Katie. Good to have you here. Love from Sweden. This is Pueblo. I'm in Pueblo, Colorado. It's 11:15 a.m. here. It's a little bit warm outside, so I'm going to be driving out to go and get my new glasses and do some groceries. So yeah, Like, remember, super chat isn't available everywhere yet. Hopefully, your Patreon comes fast. Oh, thank you. I did not know that. Thank you so much. Yes, I have promised. I spoke with a friend, Phil. I was like, Phil, how much are you going to support me per month that is not going to break your pocket? And he was like, he gave me the amount. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this thing this weekend just because I know that you want to support me and I want to give you the opportunity to support me. Because honestly, the videos that I want to make, the type of videos that I really want to make are very mind. I mean, you've probably watched some of the videos on my channel, right? I'm doing reaction videos now, but the videos that I know that I have in me to make are very different. They're much more edited, they're much more scripted out. And I want to start conversations around things that people I feel don't talk about. Things like friendships, relationships with family, growing up in Cameroon, living in a new country. And so I want to be able to do that probably for the rest of my life. And I also have organizations that I want to support, like Imalet. Imalet, you made mention of organizations in Douala and Yaoundé, right? I know somebody who just, we were talking a couple of days ago, I want to be able to support these organizations financially. And I feel that having a space where people can contribute, help me make this content, and also provide some of the funds for that can be a useful way to help communities. So you're right. I'm going to be working on that this weekend. Like, that's my goal for this weekend, to get my Patreon up and running, which means I need to get my Discord sorted out. Lots of work, and I appreciate it. Glory, Mafor, welcome. I know you're writing exams. You're popping in here to say hello. Favorite topics? I know. It's Glory, my other friend. So yeah, Glory is a good friend. We've performed poetry together. She's a writer. She's currently studying. She's a was it something Mundus scholar. I know you have a scholarship. I don't know what it is. Probably don't talk about it. You don't have to talk about it. Just it's okay. Making YouTube interactive is so unique. Thank you. You're welcome. I love these streams, and even if I wasn't going to upload any video, I'll still show up for my Friday stream and just have this chat. But in Discord, we're going to be able to talk to each other. I really want to be able to hear your voice, hear your names, and just discuss, On comments, I mean, you mean love from Sweden? Sorry. Kidist Marcos. Thank you. Green, yellow. That's Ethiopian colors. Yes? Yes, Kamina. I feel like I'm becoming a de facto Ethiopian. I feel like after about 3 years of making this kind of content, I'm going to start. I might not be able to speak Amharic, but I will learn. All right. I think. An hour per video for answering comments. An hour per video for answering comments. Oh, I see. That's a good idea. Thank you. Yeah, I see the colors: red, yellow, green. And I watched when I watched the Geography Now Cameroon, I discovered that most of our flags have similar colors because green, red, yellow, that's Cameroon with the star in the middle. So yeah, I think the interactions have started dying down, which means that you're just enjoying watching this right now. And I'm going to start winding this conversation down. So do you have any questions, any comments, any things that you would like to share with me? You want to bring up Ghana? Okay, so it wasn't. I need to learn my maps. I need to know my flags. There is so much. I enjoy people like Displore, Tunachiki. These are creators that I used to watch, and I was like, wow, the fact that they're putting Africa on the map. Wodemaya, Tayo Aina, people who are talking about the continent. I used to watch them from a distance and be like, wow, these guys are doing some really great things. I don't feel like I know what I'm talking about. I don't feel like I have anything to say. And then now I'm doing reaction videos to their videos, which makes me learn a lot about the continent. And I really appreciate that. So, yeah. Oh, you react to Ethiopian music too, bro. You just added yourself to my top favorite YouTubers. Cameroon is cool. And you can come to LA. I'll be a tall guy. Just pronounce my name correctly. I would. Sorry. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name anymore. I'll remember that name. And I'll make sure that when you join the Discord, when you join the Patreon and you get access to the Discord, we will have a conversation and you will tell me the pronunciation of your name, all right? Because for me, people call me Kamaga, call me Kamja, call me Chamga, they call me like I've had all kinds of versions. So I'm very used to people like, hey, is that how I pronounce your name? I'm like, no, actually, this is Kamga, 2 syllables. No, yeah. So sorry about that. We will do it. Definitely. I look forward to it. Do you like Samuel Eto'o? We love him here in Ethiopia. Samuel Eto'o is a legend in Cameroon for his skills. Like, if you don't like Samuel Eto'o, you probably have a personal problem with him. I don't know him personally. I don't follow a lot of football myself, which is sad because people think that all Cameroonians love soccer. I'm probably one of those few Cameroonians who doesn't. And even Cameroonians mock me for not liking soccer. But I know Samuel Eto'o. I think he has put the country on the map. And he's a huge icon for people who can, take their skills and become something better. So, yeah, it's dinner time over here. It's great to hang out. Talk to you later. Thank you so much, Katie. I'm going to be winding down myself because my eyes, I started seeing like stars in my eyes. I feel like I need to. What time is it? Yep, it's almost getting close to my meal time. I need to eat myself. So enough Ethiopian stuff. Go react to Guinea. Send me the links in on IG. There's so much content about the African continent that I'm yet to touch, and that's why I'm excited about the channel. I want to get 100,000 subscribers. I put the goal like by the end of this year. It's one of those crazy goals. I'm like, yeah, come guy, you cannot do this thing. It's just stop dreaming. But then I'm like, well, I just need to make better content, right? I just need to not talk too much in my reactions, to make them actually interesting, to take topics that are actually interesting. Like there is a path. I just need to do the work. So, Viennois, on va voir. Have you thought of doing reaction videos for documentaries? The reaction video space is so huge that it's now that I'm realizing the beasts that I've been playing with. There's a lot to do, like whether it's comedy and things. But also, this is the part about reaction videos that people don't realize. You can have a huge channel of, say, 1 million subscribers, right, doing reaction videos, but you might not make as much money as somebody who has 5,000 subscribers doing particularly a different kind of topic. The way YouTube works, we'll talk about it another day. The stream is winding down now. The way YouTube works, you get ads based on the audience and the topic. So it might be a topic that is very popular, but then the audience doesn't have the spending power, so you don't make enough money using YouTube ads, which means I need to find other ways to do it, which is why I'm working on my Patreon page, because honestly, right, I would like to make more reaction videos to content about the African continent that also allows people who are out of the continent to really understand us and to share, to make the world a better place. That's such a laudable dream. But my Patreon page is where I'm going to allow people to be able to support me so that I don't have to rely on YouTube ads. I don't have to rely on, oh, let me make a topic that's going to go viral or the topic is going to be popular. I can actually make topics that are important. So if you would like to support me, within the next couple of days, I'm going to be completing that. I'll make an announcement on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe and turn the notification bell so that when I put that video, you will get it first. Because I want to make these videos, Lou. I want to make these videos. But it takes time, it takes energy, it takes skill, and I have a full-time job. Like I work full-time while doing these videos, and it's hard. So I'm looking at how to transition, whether it's part-time or less time, or maybe completely to making videos and writing articles. So we'll see. Can you react to Ethiopian PM speech on Nobel Peace Prize awards? I haven't even, is it recent? Let me see. I'll just write that down. Peace Prize. Ethiopian PM. Yep, I'll check that out eventually. I haven't seen it yet. What is your favorite game? So far, my current game that I love right now is Rogue Company. It's a third-person shooter. What I've heard is that it's a blend between CSGO and Valorant. I think they've put them. So yeah, it's free. It's cross-platform. I usually play on Fridays with my friend Mark and Nodita. So you might want to check it out. My Twitch is actually here. Yep, that's my Twitch. So if you go on Twitch, I'll be streaming today. Yeah. So you can check me out playing there. Do you get copyright strikes with reaction videos? Actually, I did get a copyright claim, not a strike. It's two different things. Copyright claim yesterday for the TED Talk that I did. So I've disputed it because it's fair use. We'll see. And also the reason why I want to to make the Patreon page is because I want to be able to put those videos so they can see and then have to deal with like ads and strikes and all that stuff. So yes, I have gotten one copyright claim so far because of that video. And I'm trying to figure out a way to make sure that doesn't happen again. So I'm working on that. That's why the Patreon page is going to be very important. We all due respect, but yes, you should spice things up. I'm subscribed, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I know you are. I actually watched your video yesterday. You were talking about your depression story. I started watching that. We have not finished it yet, so I'm looking at that. I like watching videos. Let me tell you a secret. I sometimes go and watch. If any of my viewers is a YouTuber, I go and watch your videos. I may not comment unless I feel like I want to surprise you or something. So I was watching your video yesterday and I've not finished watching it. So maybe I'll leave a comment. We'll see. Yo, delivery chick, man. How you throw your man's of the man? Like you just disappeared. You're just enjoying your programming money somewhere. Yeah, you're just enjoying yourself. It's okay. Leave us mere mortals, yeah, to be live streaming without your presence. It's okay. Abbas, thank you, man. Thank you. I have plans for the Discord. The Discord and Patreon. I had a Patreon before, but I felt bad because I was taking people's money and I was not providing any value. Now I have grown and I know what I'm providing and know what I want and how to serve better. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, we're going to end the stream now because my eyes are literally just making this weird thing. I need to stop looking at screens for a bit. And it happens sometimes. Since I work customer service, I'm staring at screen. This is like literally my office. I stare at screens all day, so I'll be doing that. Delry, just coming when I was leaving. Thank you for being here. Abbas, I'll be putting up the announcement very, very soon because I know how much I would like to do this for a long time, and I know that it will be important for people to support me if they want to. At least give you the opportunity to decide to help me out. All right. So Lulu, stay tuned. You already subscribed. I'm sorry, I cannot see clearly. Like my eyes are really killing me right now. I need to probably stop staring at my screen. Michael, Mika, join me on the stream today if you can. I like this music. It's a nice music to end the stream on, right? Pretty cool. 10 of them. I'm not going to try it again. 10 of them. Sorry. It's not my. I'm not trying to destroy your name. Viennois. Katie. Yes, Kidist. Marcos. Thank you so much for hanging out on the stream. Glory jumped in and disappeared. Divine, good to have you. Man, so many comments. Miss Williams, it's just been like a cool see. Like it just gets better and better. Thank you so much for being here. Really love the conversation, love the chat. We'll be having this kind of conversation privately, even in Discord, and just hanging around. You know, like I'll be editing my videos and I'll be talking about things. And Imalet, I know we disagreed, but you know I love you, right? Like I do. I love seeing your name. I love seeing your comments. I really appreciate you hanging around. And I'm hoping that we can disagree more and learn from each other. All right. So, Sol, the sun was here as well, shining brightly in the comment section. Abba, thank you for being here. Chiroro, thank you so much for your comment. I may not have understood what you said, but I appreciate you taking the time to write in here. And I know Akanji came in here. I think, did she? Not sure. Well, Abba was here. Katie, Miss Williams. Thank you. John was here as well earlier. Come on, said hello. Appreciate that. Layla too. Thank you. And we had my big bro MTR. If you don't know who MTR is, you need to go check him out. Like, it's pretty cool, dude. So thank you for the super chat, bro. Thank you so much. Gina was here. This sounds like I should be using this song as my end of credits. It's like a nice, the show is ending. Enjoy. Lorraine. Yep. Good night from Addis Ababa. Thank you so much, Michael. Loving Ethiopia, loving how much I'm learning about the country. It's really amazing. And Ajit, you always mess up my name. It's Del. Very. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. I share for your eyes. Thank you, Mafo. Apology accepted. Thank you. I appreciate your concern and I am grateful for that. And Liz, you came in. I'm sure you're busy, so thank you for hopping in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the stream, guys. This has been fun. Enjoyed it. I'll be back next Friday with another Friday stream, same time, 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. We run for an hour normally, but today was fun and I chose to extend it. So I will be seeing you in the next stream. In the meantime, do your best. Let God take care of the rest. And once there's life, there's hope. You can always change your future. You may not like where things have been in the past. You may not like where you are right now, but I need you to remember that you can always change your current circumstances and in that way impact your future. So yeah, thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.